that it's just too much.
I love this.
Hi Diamondz, my name is SicNis, which is an acronym that stands for Succeeding in Possible Circumstances Needs Intellectual Strength. But I do know you know this already, Diamondz. We do this every week. And on this episode, I just wanted to speak about this whole soft life phenomenon, era, movement that is currently trending, and kudos to the creator who coined the phrase of, quite frankly, the life I have been leading for as long as I can remember. So, Diamondz, I have been about this positive life, this PMA, this soft life for as long as I can remember. Going back to the days of BBM, yes, BlackBerry Messenger, Diamondz. I used to broadcast messages of inspiration, encouragement, upliftment to my entire contact list, just because that is my natural propensity to wanna uplift people. Going back to go forward, Diamondz, as I have mentioned before on this platform, I survived extreme teen domestic violence, and my first real relationship abused me, and my second real relationship taught me how to abuse myself. So SicNis was born out of a...
My desire is to freak you permanently with my pain. My desire is to make you spread the word and tell your friends. My desire is my destiny and living legend. This is my desire. This is my desire.
SicNis was born to defend, to protect, to speak up for, and to slay injustice, and to murder any MC, regardless of gender, irrespective of gender.
1, 2, step, check, I might wreck it. Screw your face up, put your hair back and let it fall in your face, sweat break and break neckings. Make no mistake, I came to boss heading straight to the top, won't stop, I'm unleaded.
That was SicNis's agenda, and my genre of choice, dancehall.
Listen, sit down on the rhythm like a boss on me. Stop flow, I get give you fast and it. Yo, go so because everything crispy like no pampas.
Hip hop, very over sexualized, very misogynistic, very braggadocious, and I mean, I embrace it. I absolutely love it, and I embodied it in my own way. I stayed true to myself, and
angel strut, angle just, bars rusty jokes.
So moving into my musical career and going to the studio at Diamondz, where it is full. I am, for the most part, the only female in the studio for a long time. In the inner circle, it was just me as the only female. So it was, and this isn't a knock to anybody at the studio, however, this is my safe space and I am a woman. It was difficult for me to entertain my divine feminine energy musically. Yes, I wrote these songs and yes, I expressed them. I mean, the prime example I can give you is when I recorded my song Boo Boo, and man them come to the studio, and the meanings and the reasonings that they took from the song were just so far beyond Diamondz, my actual meaning. It just spoke. However, I said all that to say that it just meant that I erred more on my masculine side as opposed to really getting it in my feminine bag. And I remember at some point I was just like, and this is not just about the studio, this was just about life in general. I was just like, this is too much. This is too much. I don't want to be around toxic people. I don't want to struggle. I Don't have time for anybody who doesn't speak life into anybody. I'm not an angry black woman. Yes, I love hip hop and dancehall, but that doesn't mean you can manhandle me or disrespect me or that I'm ghetto. I love the finer things in life and luxury, and I don't see why I should have to present myself in a way that's not conducive to who I am or how I feel or how I move. So one of the things that has always tickled me throughout my musical career is when, for example, I remember supporting Akala at the drum, and I saw him backstage. We were rehearsing and praying before we did our set because we were support act, so obviously we went on before Akala. And after my set, he actually said to me, "SicNis, I had to pop my head out the door and see what was going on stage because I thought you were a singer." You can't stop me, you can't stop me, just free. I'm doing me, I just wanna be free to be me. And my life to the T-double-E, they saturate P-double-E, say most of the questions succeed, and I gotta raise my seat. No, I go straight in with me, oxygen levels, shoot me deep, never catch me in the streets, turn on my side, move a sheet, in punctual streets, on my sleeve. I don't care what you believe, we roll with between the sheets. Marino Varsity, off a label, I'm straight in deep. Ain't nobody stop me from being me, I'm just me reality. I just wanna be. I thought you were a singer, and then I heard all these bars. You killed that. So that's one thing that's always tickled me, because it's like, don't judge a book by its cover. Because of my perplexed reflex, I get this by a sister. So yeah, said all that to say, Diamondz, it was a journey to get to that point. Diamondz, I had to develop some sort of like extraterrestrial thick skin, tenacity, resilience, even more so than before. And some of the things that I had to do, like for instance, the first thing, Diamondz, that I had to do in order to embrace this whole soft life phenomenon and the softer side and step into my divine feminine energy, is I had to cut myself some slack. Cut yourself some slack, Diamondz. You are not your problems. You are not your current circumstances. You are not your bank balance. You are not poor decisions you have made in the past, unless you continue to make them in perpetuality. I can only speak from my own experience, Diamondz. And for me, I had to forgive myself for being in an abusive relationship. You know, getting into the abusive relationship wasn't my fault. However, would I, if I continue to let the hurt that this person caused me continue to destroy my life, then that would be on me. I had to cut myself some slack and realize how far I'd come, everything that I had achieved up until that point, and continuously to where I stand to this day. Thank myself for having the courage to go after my dreams when I was telling people in 93, oh, I'm going to be that Wu-Tang, that's my family, like, white coats and shit, you know what I mean? I had to thank myself, I had to cut myself some slack and just be like, actually, girl, second thing I had to learn how to do, Diamondz, was say no. And you can put it however you want to. You can be what? I had to learn how to say no. No to things that don't serve me. No to toxic people, toxic situations. I had to recognize patterns and put things in place to ensure I didn't Going back to what I said about being very self-aware, Diamondz, I am hypersensitive, which means I rarely believe that I've done a good enough job. I have a propensity to overthink and also to worry too. Therefore, I have to, for my own sanity and safety and self-preservation, say no to any person, situation, or circumstance that impedes upon or expounds these unwanted feelings, thoughts, etc., etc. Another thing I had to do, Diamondz, was I had to teach myself to treat myself. You know, going back to what I said about overcoming extreme, severe teen domestic violence. And I will speak about that in a whole another show. There is not enough spoken about the rehabilitation period after going through domestic violence. Yes, it may end, the physical abuse may end at the moment the relationship or you have the courage or however it comes to an end or finalizes. However, the getting over the mental abuse and the trauma, etc., that you are left with is a completely another matter, and not enough is said about it, and there is not enough done to help. Put your best foot forward, Diamondz. Put your best foot forward. Look your best. Smell your best. Dress your best. Never let them see you sweat. When you look good, you feel good. You project a different type of confidence onto the world, and you attract and manifest that in abundance in return, Diamondz. So make a point of doing all you can in a healthy and productive and positive way to make yourself feel the best that you possibly can. You absolutely deserve this, Diamondz. We've spoken about reframing the mindset. You know, I am not going to stop banging on about reframing our mindsets. It starts within, Diamondz. I will never forget the very first person I spat bars to. They didn't tell me I was good, but I knew I was good. I could see it on their face. I've seen that look, because I give that look to people that I think are amazing, but they didn't tell me that I was good. Until this day, they've not told me that I'm good. However, .com, and that's not what I'm waiting for. Outside validation is not now or has ever, never, or never ever will be required. I don't need that. You don't need outside validation. You need to validate yourself. You need to be proud of and respectful and flying the flag for yourself. Teach yourself to treat yourself. I take myself on solo trips, solo dates, whether that's the cinema, the museum, flipping Ibiza, restaurants, and I don't care who's looking at me like I'm bidding no mates. I don't care. I've got a fantastic friend circle. I've got people who love me and support me. However, .com, if I want to go away now, I'm going away now. Diamondz. And stop moving from a place of poverty. Stop moving from a mindset of lack. My wonderful friend Alaska MC, he's got this phrase. He says, focus on what you love, drop everything else. Focus on what you love, drop everything else. I said what you want. I said you can have it. Drop it. Diamondz. You can get it, just believe in that you trust. You're gonna get it. Move like you got this. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? Move like you got this in the bag. Ghostface said to me one day, Well, he didn't say it to me. We was in a conversation that, like, there was a group of us. We were all in a conversation, and Ghost and Priest were talking about when they bring fans on stage to, like, spit the bars. And they were speaking about, you know, when guys freeze, when people freeze, and how they know, they can see when someone's going to tank or they're going to freeze. They can see what they're thinking. And Ghost said to me, and I've never forgotten this, Ghost said to me, well, he didn't say it to me. Ghost's face said, you gotta at least make your face look like you're saying some shit. He said, you've got to at least make your face look like you're believe that shit. Because if you don't believe it, how's anybody else gonna believe it? Make your face believe that. Cause if you don't even believe that, you ain't telling it to any of the rest of us. And that's what that is, straight. Another thing that you have got to do, Diamondz, is follow the path of least resistance. Life ain't supposed to be hard. It ain't supposed to be a struggle. You can learn from others' mistakes. You don't have to go through that. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. So follow the path of least resistance. Many times we find ourselves pursuing relationships, pursuing jobs, pursuing friendships that we know for a fact don't serve us any purpose. That it's just too much. So let's give ourselves permission right now, Diamondz, to cut ourselves some slack, say no, teach ourselves to treat ourselves, put our best foot forward so we look good, feel good and smell good all the time, reframe our mindsets and follow the path of least resistance. And that's how we'll all be living this soft life. Thank you so much for tuning in, Diamondz. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and switch on notifications, and I'll see you next time with a brand new video. So until then,
Telling them no blood clot ready.
Love.
Beats tight, then my flow pops cherry beam. Credibility.